Founding father Benjamin Franklin once said, "Nothing is certain in life, except death and taxes." And well-established musicians eventually making Christmas music. A sad fact of life that also applies to everybody's favorite 90s alt-rock band whose most well-known album features a mostly blue background. Weezer. That's right, Weezer is no stranger to celebrating the holidays, having released several holiday-themed EPs as well as an app directly correlated to one of those projects. With the first of which being the Christmas CD, a itty-bitty 2-track EP featuring 2 original tracks, the Christmas Song and Christmas Celebration. 2 titles that make this EP look like your very run-of-the-mill Christmas song affair. But upon listening, I think the Christmas CD actually has some quality to it. The style of the tracks are very similar to that of Green albums, which shouldn't be a surprise considering how the 2 are right next to each other in the discography of the band. And my thoughts on the EP are actually very similar to my thoughts on Green in my tier list video, where I thought the later half of Green kind of dragged compared to the first half, is very similar to the way I really like the Christmas Song, but found Christmas Celebration to be kind of just okay. For Christmas Celebration, it felt really simple, with it being one of those "It's Christmas, guys" sorts of songs, and not really something that Weezer needed to make. But for the Christmas Song, it features that sort of reined-in emotional songwriting we see in Green, while still having a bit of somberness. And it creates a song that kind of reminds me of Devotion from Pinkerton Deluxe, if it were on Green album instead, but also took place around Christmas. If I were to go back and retroactively add this EP to my Weezer tier list, I would put it right next to Green in C tier, since it's pretty average. Also, apparently YouTube comment sections claimed that the Christmas Song was used in Season 2, Episode 6 of The Bear. I would check that myself, but I can't afford another Alpha and Omega situation right now, so if that's true, please let me know in the comments. And one last thing about the Christmas CD is that it also got re-released as
Winter Weezerland
in 2005. The next Christmas-related Weezer offering is far greater in volume, being a 6-track EP called Christmas with Weezer. I would say that this EP is far more known than the Christmas CD due to being newer and still having a digital release. Unlike the Christmas CD, Christmas with Weezer doesn't feature original music, instead being a cover album featuring popular Christmas tunes, like "We Wish You a Merry Christmas."
We wish you a Merry Christmas, we wish you a Merry Christmas.
That is then followed by a bunch of hymns. Having 5 of the 6 tracks being hymns is an interesting choice. With most other Christmas albums, you'd get maybe Silent Night at best, but here, Weezer ditches your Jingle Bells for your first Noels. A move that confuses me due to Rivers Cuomo being an atheist, but then again, it's well known that some of Rivers' writing shows a strong fixation on religion as a concept, so maybe the hymns were chosen due to his interest? Who knows? But as far as it sounds, it's pretty alright. Nothing spectacular. It feels pretty slapped together in parts, to be honest, and because of that, I was never really a fan of this album. But doing my research for this video, I found out that there's surprisingly a good reason for why it feels slapped together. That being because almost all of the instruments, besides bass, were played by Pat, the drummer, with vocals just being added in later from Rivers. And yet another thing adding to the feeling of it being slapped together is the fact that this project wasn't even originally an album. All of these songs originated in the form of a mobile game of the same name. I think the idea of this EP is good and it has its appeal, but all of these weird factors create some mediocre at best results. So if I were to retroactively rank it, I'd put it at the bottom of C tier next to the Outfoxies. And that concludes Weezer's Christmas catalog. Well, at least musically, because I could also add this random SNL skit from 2018 that takes place at a dinner party where the attendees argue if Weezer is still good.
Why don't you grow the hell up? Listen to Ratitude, listen to Pacific Daydream. Pacific Daydream is not music, man. No offense, but burn in hell.
And there's a Netflix movie called The Family Switch where Ed Helms plays Santa Claus coming to town on stage, and Weezer is there too. And now that's all the Weezer Christmas things that I know of. I'd like to thank Weezerpedia for providing additional information regarding to the EPs. If you're ever in a spot where you just want to know something about Weezer, this is your best place to find it. And if there's any more Weezer Christmas-ish media that I may have missed, please sound off in the comments and I'll make sure to spread awareness with a like and a heart. Peace and love, I Sort the Whatever, signing out.
Everybody